It's another fine day here in the QC, and I'm so glad to see it as always. I do hope everyone is well and that you are able to get out and enjoy this day like I am. Getting some fresh air, some sunshine, and hopefully some exercise. If the sunshine is in your neck of the woods once again. It looks like we may get a brief bit of sunshine today. I know it's been raining all day up until now, so I'm getting a late start. I know they're saying around 3 o'clock we should get a break in the weather, which now is like 1:30, 1:45, and we got a little break. So I'm hoping that around 3:30 I can get out and get my ride and my walk and my squats in. But until then, I'm gonna go and handle some business. But before that, I did want to offer my thought of the day, and it is one that I needed very much so today myself. And it's a simple thought. I'm curious. Tell me, what will you say? I'm curious. What will you say? And our lead script is Romans 8:31. What shall we then say to these things? If the Most High Yah be for us, who can be against us? And what I'm going to do is just read over my scripts, because that's all I basically have is scripts. Just to build us up, starting our week off strong. And basically what I'm saying is this is what we should be saying throughout this week, or whenever we're in a tight, or whenever we're facing opposition to what the Most High's word has said about us. We're to speak the word, we're to put the word on it. And like I said, 2 Timothy 1:7, for the Most High Yah had not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. And just let these scripts build that faith up as we read over them. And go back over them as after this recording. And I'll put all the scripts in the description like I always do. But go back over them and build your own faith up. See, I'm going through a tight right now. I'm going through a situation. So I needed these scripts. I needed this thought from the Most High. And the next one is Isaiah 41:13. For I, the Master, thy Most High Elohim, will hold thy right hand, saying unto you, fear not, I will help you. And see, this one caught me. This one got me a bit emotional, because I was thinking about when I was in that operation. I all of a sudden woke up and looked over, and there was my Savior right there, comforting me, telling me, it's okay, Robin, I'm right here with you. You're right. Because I woke up fearful, to be honest. Because for one, I didn't know where I was. I just had a stroke. I'm on the operating table. Pardon me. I'm on the operating table. And this is when I was having the open heart surgery. They had just did the brain surgery where they went in and sucked out a blood clot out of my brain, going through my thigh, all the way through my heart, into my brain, all the way through my body cavity. And I believe that's when they damaged my left heart valve, sending that probe up through my heart. But I was in that open heart surgery, and I woke up and was like, I couldn't say nothing. I was just totally in fear, like, what is going on? Where am I at? What's going on? Because the last thing I basically remembered was my wife telling me I had a stroke, that I was okay, that they was going to need to do some more tests, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But the next thing I know, I'm waking up out of open heart surgery with a pillow on my chest, with a big cut in the middle of my chest, and with a nurse sitting there telling me, giving me instructions of what I need to do as far as taking care of this incision in my chest. But that's what I think about when I read over that script. Okay, Ezekiel 34, 30 and 31. Thus shall they know that I am the Master, their Most High Elohim, and with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, are my people, says the Master, the Most High Yah. And you are my flock, the flock of my pasture, and men, and I am your power, says the Master, the Most High Yah. Pardon me. And see, we have to take that personal as Israel, knowing that he is with us and has always been with us, preserving us and keeping us until this time, this space and time. And 1 John 4 and 4, little children, you are from the Most High Yah, and have overcome them, for he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. That's another powerful text. It reminds me of the one that says, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. In Psalms 84, 11 and 12, for the Most High Yah is a sun and shield. The Master bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly. O Master of hosts, blessed is the one who trusts in you. So that lets us know right there, what is upright? Following laws, statutes, and commands. Unlike what some people say, they're done away with. You can sin all you want, as long as you put a Lord forgive me, I'm sorry at the end of it, and pay your tithes and offerings, you're good. And now you have to send them in. You can't go to the church and take them and get that weekly oil and get that weekly oil slapped on your head at the altar. And I joke and kid about that with churches because I was there for so long. And when you've been in a situation and you come out, you can start seeing the humor in it. But I know it's not funny. But I had to kid about it because I was there myself. And a lot of our people are still there and hurting. And Psalms 27, 1 through 3, and this is David. The Master is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Master is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me to eat up my flesh, my adversaries and foes, it is they who stumble and fall. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war arise against me, yet I will be confident. Over this morning, the Most High gave me this one. And that's Psalm 73, 25 through 26. Whom have I in heaven but thee? And there is none upon earth that I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart faileth, but the Most High is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. And that really wraps it all up in a tight bow. Because what the author there is saying, yep, my heart done failed. I done lost heart a few times. And I can feel him in this. Yeah, I have even doubted, had unbelief going on. But the Most High strengthened my heart. And he is my portion. And see, just like me reading over these texts now, I can feel more faith building up in my ruach, in my spirit. And see, that's what that word does. That's why we got to stay in the word and stay on top of them praises. and think about what the Most High is doing for you. See, that's what I do when I think about them words. In certain circumstances, I think about where I was, just like on that operating table and woke up. Totally fearful, my heart has failed me. Not only mentally and physically, I mean spiritually, but also physically. But see, we have to see, that's where your faith is really built back up, when you encourage yourself from what he already did for you. When you start saying, okay, I remember the time, like Michael Jackson's song. Yep, I remember. I had this situation going on. I had that situation going on. But the Most High delivered me out of them all. Each and every one of them. And that's a good text to add also. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Most High delivered them out of them all. I believe that's the one. I know I'm misquoting it now, but I'll put it in the description also. But what would you have to say? What did he title that today? I'm curious. Tell me, what will you say? I'm curious. Tell me, what will you say when your back's against the wall? What will you say when you got a host of enemies coming at you all at one time? And see, when we say enemies these days, we literally mean our enemies trying to kill us. And that we have to be mindful of the Most High's word, that it's active, it's quick, it's sharper than any two-edged sword, cutting. See, we have to remember who the Most High is and why he is the Most High. He's above all and looks low. He sits high and looks low. He's above everything that's going on in our lives. And we have to remember that. He's above it. That means he can do what he wants to do in each situation. And also, he already saw everything coming. See, he sees the beginning from the end. And that reminds me of, what's her name? Queen Hadessa. Oh, boy, that song touched me. Though you slay me. Well, I feel chills right now. Though you slay me, I will yet praise you and serve you and honor you for who you are. You are the Most High. You see the beginning from the end. Hallelujah. Thank you, Most High. I done talked myself happy, as preachers would say in the church. But I have just meditating and thinking on the goodness of the Most High and them scripts. See, we have to keep ourselves mindful of what he's done. And them scripts will do it. Because what them scripts are actually doing, they're reminding us of how he's rescued our ancestors, our brothers and sisters. Tell me, what will you say? What shall we say to these things? What shall we then say to these things? And what shall we say then to these things is when opposition comes, when the hell and high water comes. What you gonna say then? Not now that everything is nice and rosy and peachy clean, but to say peachy, nice and peachy. But what you gonna say then when them troubles come? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. That's what I'm curious about. What are you gonna say then? Just like right now I'm going through a crunch. What am I going to say? Am I going to back down off what the Most High promised me and what I've been confessing just because it gets a little tight? No. The text says that these, what the text call them? These light afflictions. Basically, he's saying that little light work you're going through, I got that. That little light thing you're going through, I got that. Just like when we was out running the streets as younger kids, and me and my brother, we get in a little argument with some folks. He'll come along and say, Bob, take care of my light work. This ain't worth my time wrestling, fighting with this dude. And I just wanted to come back and encourage us today to get into the Most High's word and to reminisce on what he's done for us. As I heard a individual say over the weekend, that we must take time to meditate. And I'm not talking the spooky meditations and all that where you burning sage and all that mess. We got to meditate on the Most High's word and add to that what he's done for us in the past. And what we're actually doing is putting ourselves in the place of our ancestors who had more in common with us than we may know of. Not only were they stiff-necked and hard-headed like we are, but they was put in situations where they had to trust the Most High or to totally turn their back on him. And the case was that they turned their back on him more times than not. But like I said, I'm curious, what will you say? What will you have to say when you're caught in that situation? And you may be facing one now, where you feel like you're against a rock in a hard place, which I'm sure you are, because you're always going to be presented with that situation when you're dealing with the Most High. He thrives off faith. He loves it. He enjoys faith. So we might as well give it to him. What you got to lose? And I know I laugh, but inside I'm crying too with you, because I know how hard it is to trust him. And like I put in my notes, it's a job trusting the Most High, but it's one we can handle. He gave it to us, so we got to handle it. If he didn't think we could handle it, he wouldn't have put it to us or entrust us to it. Just like he told me when I had that stroke, he said, I trust you with this. That's why I allowed you to go through this, because I know you can handle it, basically. Boy, that was dangerous, but I had to do it. Yeah, he told me, I trust you with the situation. I trust that you're going to go through it like a true soldier that I made you to be. And you're going to go through it handling it like I've taught you from the past. Like the saying goes, from glory to glory. Step by step. No, it ain't easy when you're trying to become a man. It ain't easy when you're doing the best you can. But take a stand and be strong. You've got to hold on, but it ain't easy. thought I had my water. We gotta go back to the truck to get it. So I need that water. You see, that's where my toes were cut off right there. I ain't gonna show them because they ashy. They got my big toe, my next to the big toe, and a middle toe. I'm left with the pinky, the ring finger toe, I guess you would call it, and the pinky toe. But all praise to the Most High. I can walk. I can't run yet, but I can ride my bike, which is just as well. We gotta continue to adjust this brace and put the cushions in it where I need it to be, because this pad, or this insert as they call it, is pretty much worn out. So we have to endure hardships like a good soldier until we can do better. You know, I'm not complaining, because we can have it. As long as we can adjust, we're going to keep moving forward in the right direction. Yeah, stay mindful of the Most High's word. And know that it's always active in your life. And that is if you're keeping it active. See, that word is alive. But we have to keep it alive in our own personal life. And how do we do that, Robert? Great question. I'm glad you asked. We do that by putting it in the atmosphere. We speak it. And we always have to be mindful also not to undermine what we already put into the atmosphere. That's why one of my favorite scripts to quote pretty much on a daily basis before I come out here is, Most High, let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight. For you are my master, my strength, and my redeemer. And I depend on you to tame my tongue, so I won't say anything that might offend my brothers and sisters. Help me to be responsible for this time in the secret place we spend together. And when I do that and keep my mouth shut and only speak when he says speak, and everything will work out just fine. I see my water was sitting right there. It must have slipped out of my pocket. But that's okay. Now we're reloaded. Yes, so that's my word of encouragement today. Not only to stay mindful of what the Most High said about us and his role and position in our lives, but we have to be doers of the word, like the text says, not just hearers of it. So how many of us know that we have been hearing the word of the Most High in them churches pretty much all our lives? But in reality, we hadn't had a clue to who we are in the Most High's family. Now, does that mean that just because we know our identity, that we don't have to have relationship with the Most High, or what I call intimacy? No. It's just like a recording I've done in the past called Identity Without Intimacy Still Equals Depart From Me. We're going to do another set right here. Before we continue our walk. Now, I had to stop for that water. Go back and get him. I would have been mad halfway around the track without a sip of that cooling water. Cooling water. Cooling water. Can do it. Like the boy from Waterboy. He would always come with that encouraging word. You can do it. So for all of us that's out here doing it, keep on doing it and keep pushing forward. Not only